Okay, so I start with peat moss. I have like a trolley wheelbarrow thing that I fill with, and then I add perlite. You can get perlite in the indoor portion of Home Depot or Lowe's. Comes in a big wet bag. It's really lightweight. It adds some, helps the plant keep their oxygen. Then I also add vermiculite, which you can also get in the indoor section of Home Depot or Lowe's. And it has helps with the aeration of the roots too, but also helps retain moisture. Now, peat moss is sterile, so it doesn't have any bacteria in it. It's not really a soil. It's very acidic, so because it's acidic, I add super sweet, probably a little measuring cup full. It's kind of based on how much I'm making. So, and I just sprinkle that over and I'll mix all that in. I also add azomite. Azomite has a lot of, it's a rock dust. So it has some calcium and things that'll help root growth. It's kind of a fine powder. I get it on Amazon. So I add that in there. That's good for the roots. I add a little bit of kelp meal. This is new this year and it seems to be really helping. I also add a lot of these things to the regular dirt when I'm planting things. So this is kelp meal. Kind of expensive. I get it on Amazon. It has some nitrogen and potash. So I have a little cheat sheet. I'll show you to kind of understand what you're adding. So the primary nutrients you add for plants is, sorry, hold on, my camera's fuzzy. Nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium. So the potash is going to be your potassium. This is not focusing well. So the kelp meal is going to help with the potassium, and potassium improves the overall health of the plant, helps it grow faster and make carbohydrates, fight off disease and pests, also regulates activities of plant enzymes. Deficiency of potassium can cause weak or deformed plants and stems and early loss of fruit. So it helps the flowers stay on and the fruit to set. So the P and the K are important in plants that you're going to produce any kind of fruit with, like tomatoes or fruit trees. The nitrogen, which most people, it's easy to know what nitrogen, is mostly for the leaf growth. So if you're having something like spinach where you're eating the leaves, you're going to want more nitrogen because that's what you want to grow. And you don't really want it to bolt and put off seeds. Then, so those are just like kind of macronutrients that I add to kind of round out. And then I add a slow release. This is what I use. Not sure if it's organic, but I use it anyways. It's slow release, so 4 months. Depends on the plant. You might add more frequently. And I do about a cup full. So it's kind of like cooking. You just kind of add what you feel, what you're going to grow. Some things need more nitrogen, some things need more potassium or potash. And then, so that's about, I will take about probably all of my perlite. I'm a little short. I would normally add a little bit more. And vermiculite. So you're almost going to be adding half the amount of perlite and vermiculite to the peat moss. So I'm making quite a lot because I have to fill up a big container. So then you just mix it up. Right now it's really dry. You're going to want to get it really wet before you put it in a pot because it's hard to get peat moss to absorb water. I may add a little bit more of the amendments because this is quite a bit that I'm making. But this is just potting soil. It's not actually technically a soil, it's a planting medium. This doesn't actually contain dirt. It's sterile, so it's great for starting seeds. For plants that are sensitive to bacteria and stuff, it won't be in here. But you know, it's a lot cheaper to do it this way. Most people don't want to fuss with it, but I do a lot of gardening, so for me, a big thing of peat moss is about $11 at Lowe's. You can get a bag about that size of perlite and vermiculite. That's the vermiculite. And the perlite was the white puffed up rock. I think they're about $6-8 a bag, but you can see how much soil you make out of it. And I mean, what I like about it is being able to amend it according to whatever I'm planting. So like for tomatoes, the lack of calcium tends to make the ends of the tomatoes rot. So I will add a lot of azomite to it to supplement more calcium. If you were having more problems, you could add other things. Oh, the other thing I add that I didn't pull out is, where is it? Is triple phosphate. So that's a more root growth. And about another one of those scoops full of that.